is a 4K one. We're loading in again though, finally. This is the correct server, and Uki's on the nurse as it is, and our survivors are taking it slow to start. I like to see this. Good variety of builds. I'm actually surprised not to see an exhaustion on the Deliverance build, but that's a money save, I guess. Maybe they are saving the money for another time. So yeah, Uki's gonna travel down the map. We saw the build, Peaches. This is not a build for killer that is going to mess around. This is a very, very scary build for survivors to contend with. Saki's gonna take the first hit though, and this chase really might not be that long.
Might not last that long. Is Saki able to make the chase go a little bit further? But as this goes now, ooh, very nice pathing by Saki. But one other thing I wanted to add before we go any further is I was just looking in the background. The reason why we had to disconnect there, Golden Order brought us onto a wrong server, and so that will be I believe it's a 2-hook penalty if I'm reading this correct. I just want to make sure I'm looking right. So yeah, I'm looking at the rules here and double checking on the stuff. Yeah, it is a 2-hook penalty. So Yuki is definitely gonna need to put in the work here. I mean, this is a great start to get that kind of result, but yeah, Yuki's definitely gonna need to put in the work. So yeah, everything. This build is exactly what they're gonna need. They're really gonna need to apply the pressure, really get the pop and eruption going, get the turn back the clock, and yeah, it's just unfortunate that they brought the wrong servers and they were gonna play into it. And yeah, it is what it is, but so far not too bad of a spot. Got a middle hook, so you can kind of look around the gen spread, see what's going on, see if you can catch out the savior. And he's got a pretty nice gen spread up top. He's got that 1 and 11 main and 1, so a nice little 3-gen here. And you also have that mid gen, the top mid gen. I didn't even see that right away. So a lot of gens that we could kind of pull in to maybe make a 3 or 4 gen here, Tavi.
So I think yeah, suddenly perhaps with the observation of yours, I think maybe survivors need to get a crack on, because that generator setup at the top side is very dangerous, especially if this chase can't last that long. That's problems. Saki is doing an amazing job though to just keep on delaying the chase. Maybe Uki a bit nervous. I'm not really sure, but they do get the down, so that's good. Yeah, I think that's got to be a good no DS, by the way. That was on the Deliverance build, I believe. It's gotta be a relief, you know, just to secure the down. Maybe be able to keep the top side generator set up. This mid gen will pop, but at what cost for our survivors? They have the tunnel out on second hook, so the middle gen I feel like should have popped a little bit earlier. You can also see both of the survivors rotating away, and it should have a good idea of the general location of everyone just when that second gen of the trial pops. So yeah, I think Uki's still in a great spot here. Has the perks to really put in the work as well on their end. That's now them knowing where every survivor is. It's also going to take a tag onto Max, who's not our daily player, so they're going to just run away with the BL, maybe even caught in the open. Maybe Uki can get a little bit of a 2-blink here, and Max is going down. Obviously, no second chance there, and Saki is still on this hook. Could be problems team, because there's a bit of a scramble to keep tunnel out alive, because I feel like you can't allow this tunnel out to happen, surely. But maybe they just have to, because Max is down by this hook. They allow another survivor to go down. This seems wraps, even if the tunnel out can be saved. And there's still 3 gens left, Peaches. It just seems really bad. Saki's just going to die here, it seems. They don't have any gens either. So I think that 2-hook penalty not going to play out too badly, considering that they're going for a very good win con.
Yeah, despite the penalty, Yuki's looking really good. Following up with getting the down on the Max and following up with an injure onto Bravo. If you can get this down onto them and go back to Max, because I believe Burrito should be rotating back to pick up Max, or maybe they might cut their losses and sit gen. Yes, that's exactly what they're doing, but you saw them get off, so they are going to try and make their way over to get the pick on Max, and Yuki knows that this chase is taking a little too long, so better just to secure the hook state, secure another potential tunnel out. But no, Yuki doing a little bit of baiting and coming up on the hill, trying to see if they can catch out to where the survivors are. We see the scratch marks of Bravo making their way toward the bottom. Burrito was able to successfully stealth out Yuki, and yes, we are gonna keep this pressure going because, as you point out, there's basically no other gen pressure on the map except on that 8 generator, which isn't. It doesn't have all the too many line of sight blockers. And we've followed up. Yes, we do, and we can hook right on that generator. And honestly, Yuki is just in an incredible position, and he needs this position to be get a good result given the penalty.
I think the penalty would have been much more of an issue if a 4K wasn't secure, but a 4K is absolutely being secured here, and a high 4K is what is looking like right now for Uki, which is, of course, ideal in both worlds. Of course, the penalty will mean that the tie will not be accepted. That means that the survivors of Golden Order will have to pop 3 gens, but 3 gens popping, that's not too many. I guess it's really not that much, even on a nurse set. It is fairly... It should be a lot easier to play the trial, knowing that only 3 gens need to pop to win the first set. And Burrito's gonna go for a quick tag, quick unhook, gets tagged in the process, and Bravo takes the next bit of chase. Does have the life and is going to use it here. Burrito's caught out though. Maybe a bit of miscommunication for our survivors, getting kind of stuck on top of each other, and Burrito can't get the pallet drop in time. So Uki yet again in an incredible position to just keep up this 4K3. Max though haven't shown themselves. Probably has BL on the main building. We did see them use it before, but Uki I guess didn't hear anything or wasn't interested in the main building, so it's going to pick Burrito. Now this is Deliverance, so this will get unhooked, and Max is not in fact on main. So this is going to be, I think, a critical point by survivors again, where they pretty much don't have to go for the unhook, right? And Max really wants to slam that bot mid gen out, but now Uki knows about it. Probably will head over there and just whack it with pops. So this is where something can happen though, because technically the pressure has sort of stopped for Uki if they can't follow up on this chase. Oh my god, never mind.
As you were saying that, he follows it up with a nice 2-tap onto Max. Max not able to get any distance, and we do see the Delia onto Burrito and the reset onto Bravo as Bravo reset themselves with the med kit. But yeah, Yuki wants to continue applying the pressure. If they can catch out Burrito over here and get the down on them, this match will look more and more favorable for Yuki. So Burrito will definitely have to hide out until their broken status is gone, and then they can go for a reset of some sort. But it looks like Yuki is happy with going back, picking up Max, getting to secure their 4th fresh hook, and kind of throw them into whatever. I didn't really get a good look at what their gen spread looked like. They have a 3-gen bottom side. Actually, a really nice 3-gen with 8, 7, and this bottom mid-gen. This is really nice 3-gen. But although they do have the logs that split the middle of it, so you can't really see all 3 gens like just in the center. But still, Yuki's just really applying the pressure. Here's some pressure on main, and we have our pop. So all that pressure that's on main is just gonna go out the window. We get the unhook. So yeah, if Yuki's able to find them once again, yes, we do spot both survivors. So we know Bravo I might try to protect Burrito unless they try to split off. They're really trying to get that bottom mid gen out of the way, but I don't think Yuki's gonna let that happen. They work extremely hard to keep these 3 gens up and running. Going for Max is the injured person, and if they get that, they can get their turn back the clock and pop and just really keep the pressure going. Not quite able to outpass them, and we get the down onto them. Yuki is absolutely playing so well with the blanks, and although Max did kind of pull them down a little bit away from some of the active gens here, but this is in the 3 gen, so definitely an interesting death spot. But honestly, this is a very interesting game we got going on here, Tavi.
Yeah, it's just I think our survivors are just praying that they can get 1 generator done at this point. It seems impossible to slam out the second. It's like being so close at times, but just so close is not enough in competitive. It has to be done. Oh, it is not done because, again, you can see this build from Uki is going to punish 99 generators into the ground and not really allow that to happen at all. Main, okay, we do see a bit of progress and a bit of potential on it, but it's really only one survivor can work that, and that survivor is on hook, so it's not really safe to try and go for that generator. So I assume that will be abandoned. Max also might just be abandoned here. No one is in sight. We have a stealth in the basement. So that I think that just means there's no possible way that Max gets off this hook, making this a 2v1 where Uki still pretty much has the benefit of everything in this trial. So yeah, the only thing that is going for our survivors is that Bravo is healthy. Burrito has to go stealth away, so maybe Uki could be slightly second guessing themselves as to where the survivors are, but you know, it's a 2v1, so it's to be expected that the survivors are going to stealth a lot and force you know, Uki to go search for them instead of you know, finding them on gens and playing aggressive. So Beard is gonna get away though. They're around the 3 edge of the map. Uki did look there for a sec, but probably won't check it out. I think he's more interested on that bottom side generator. But I guess he's just trying to bait out some preemptive action by Burrito and is not really moving. So I think that just means that Bravo might commit that bottom side generator and get it completed, which would be a huge deal because that extra generator completion sets up their killer in the next trial, and they are very close, but they did not commit it, so they've stealthed away just in time, and they're actually miles and miles away from this generator. I don't think Uki will find them at all.
Yeah, this is a very interesting situation for Yuki. They have to find someone because, I mean, they can just play this ping pong back and forth all day if they're able to outstealth him. But I think Yuki might have seen. No, they didn't. I know I saw on my screen. I did see Yuki through the doorway, start running toward the back of main, but I don't think Yuki was quite able to catch it. It kind of sit in the middle of the two gens because now that they realized which gens are trying to be worked on, now that we can kind of look back and forth and see where the survivor's at. So it looks like, yeah, Bravo is going to be happy with sitting that bottom mid gen, try to bait them away from Burrito, trying to work that main generator. Yeah, but they're not on it quite yet. They stealthed a little too far, which is good because they realized, like, oh my gosh, nice pallet stun by Bravo, and we go into the life. But this is what the survivors need. I think they might be able to pop because of this chase. So unless Yuki can make this into a 2-tap of some sort, or just get some sort of fast down to at least get that eruption going, that gen is going to pop it, making it a 4K2. We see the injury. Now, can Bravo take the distance, or will you be able to follow it up with the blink? We're going behind the blocks, cutting line of sight. We get the down. We do get the down just in time, proccing the eruption, and we do see the. I think we see, just barely see the aura of Burrito on main. Yes, you do. You can see the little feet trying to make their way to the back of main and drop down. But yes, trying to bait them to teleport to the bottom, but not quite able to. What a result by Yuki, able to hold this 4K3. That's exactly what they needed, especially with the penalty they got. The 2 hook state penalty. I mean, 4K3, I mean, I think you hardly feel it at this point.
It's just, yeah, incredibly done by Uki. I don't really think it was too much of bad play for our survivors. They just decided to double that top mid gen, and I feel like they paid quite a lot for it. Yeah.
Absolutely insane by Yuki in that 4K3, especially with the 2 hook penalty that was applied to them previously. And also, going in, I'm seeing some very interesting perk choices. I think the budget stuff that we were talking about earlier, Tabi, has kicked in. We saw the survivor side having 3 perks per, with like, pretty strong perks, to say the least. And Bravo is now running Bloodhound on the nurse instead of any other aggression perk or genuinely anything else. Tabi, what do you think about Bloodhound on the nurse?
So context behind the laugh here is last week we had Addict running Bloodhound on the Blight, and that actually seemed to work out fairly alright. So I guess Barbara's taken a feather from that, and yeah, just taken Bloodhound into Nurse, which should carry over to the next set of Blight 2. So we get to see Bloodhound and Blight 2 weeks in a row. That is a treat. The other perks though, very standard. I don't know if I agree with the turn back the clock personally, but it's still a completely fine perk to use. Again, Eruption and turn back the clock. I feel like you gotta do stuff like you have to. What do you? Yeah, you have to like actively try and use Eruption and turn back the clock to get value from both of them. So yeah, Bravo will have to do that to get the maximum effective usage out of those perks. Gonna just continue this tunnel out though onto Meteor. That's the first hit coming through, but that was at a point where they were still in BT and they're gonna get 2-tap now, and this is actually sort of similar to the previous trial where we had a very fast first down, and then the second down that one wasn't fast, but they weren't able to follow up with the gens for it. And this time, okay, Uki does pop a generator for this, but it nearly gets... No, it's the wrong generator, it's one attack. But he could definitely decide to interrupt the next gen, Ken Bravo, and maybe, just maybe, keep this 4K3 dream alive, because it is the win con due to the penalty.
Yeah, it's even for the nerd. I mean, we saw it on obviously Yuki getting the 4K3, so it's not out of the question or out of the realm of possibilities, but it definitely, you still definitely, the killer has to put in the work. And like I said, especially a perk down, like I'm gonna say it, you know, if Bravo proves me wrong, I'll take the hit there, but I'm gonna say it's a perk down with Bloodhound in there. I don't think it's gonna help him in the way that they think they will, and they are gonna get this tunnel out though, unless someone comes in for the unhook. But I think they're just gonna be happy with just smashing out the gens. Rand's gen is about to be complete, and that will be the second gen done, and Yuki's gen almost on the way. I'm not sure where Luha is at. I think they were. They're also on their own gen. Yeah, no, they're gonna let Meteor die, but there's so much gen pressure around the map, and the gens are so far apart from each other. You got the one on the hill here that Luha was able to use, and they were able to get some haste around behind main, but then you also have Yuki's gen, which is just so far away. So it's gonna be rough, and we'll have to get a lot of good downs like that, apply our eruptions, and really take advantage of the perks that we do have. But you see Rand and Yuki, Rand was able to get back on Luha's gen and Yuki on theirs, so even if our killer, if Bravo goes over to Yuki's gen, Rand's gen is just about over halfway, and I think this win con, or this, I don't think Bravo's gonna be able to hold this. There's just so much gen pressure on the map here, Tavu.
It just makes me think that Uki being able to secure the 4K3 in the previous trial has allowed them to relax quite a lot in this one. Just knowing that they only need to pop one more generator, and there are 2 generators which have high progress. That's such a good sign. The Van is just going to head back to this one and maybe start getting some progress on it, but Bravo actually wants to slug this. I think this is a pretty good idea. It's understanding that the generators are just really, really close to progress, but Naran takes the edge map walk and is going to maybe evade. I don't even know he gets found on the edge map, but it doesn't matter because Li Hua is going to pop that generator just in time to secure the 4K2, which will be the first set going to the Golden Order, which I think is a really, really close set. Bravo did make this one to the last generator close, but it is unfortunately not close enough to secure a tie. So yeah, now I guess Flatline are 1 set down, going into the Blight, which I guess we're gonna see the Bloodhound perk again. Yeah, I think they will be fairly confident on it, but again, we'll have to see. It's a nice final blink from Bravo though to secure this, and yeah, 4K2, impressive result. Unfortunately, not enough.
Not enough indeed. So yeah, we'll just be walking around getting our beginner pickups. I don't think anyone has any second chance first. I don't think Unbreakable is in play. I don't think there's any plot twist, as we did see everyone get manually put down. Yeah, we see, yeah, no Unbreakable. So kind of lost Rand there on the floor there. But yeah, that honestly just a really good result. I mean, with the 2-hook win con, you in most cases, I think most teams, when they get a penalty, a lot of the like going into the next set or going back into the trial that they've picked, or even if they don't pick it, a lot of that, the mentality, like the mental, can maybe go down a little bit, or maybe they might feel like, crap, now that this win con's gonna be impossible. They're, you know, they already are in the losing mindset. But Yuki took that and is like, yeah, nah, this is still doable. I don't get Bravo, not unless he's pointing out that Bloodhound did get some value. You see the blood on the ground. It did get some sort of value. He was able to find the you can see him nodding at I'm sorry, nodding at the Bloodhound value. But take us in for the rest of this. You do see the Bloodhound once again.
Yep, the woof dog perk is making its great return on the Gas Heaven realm. Those of you who were tuning in last week might have heard my desk banging and my mug shaking when I saw that Addict got some Bloodhound value. So maybe this time around I will control my laughter a little bit more. Bravo. Yeah, may or may not get Bloodhound value. We'll have to see. As of right now, though, of course, all the survivors in the trial are healthy, so there's no chance that Bloodhound will get any value. And sort of an issue though, right now, because he hasn't found anyone, and Corrupt has already ticked nearly halfway down. So good stealthing by our survivors of Golden Order, but I also think that means there's not much gen pressure on the board if you can't find anyone. Corrupt does tick over that halfway mark, so yeah, Bravo maybe little bit indecisive as to where to look, and you can just see here that there was a survivor in that jungle gym that was just checked, and no one else really wants to make any any decisive move as of right now. They're spread across the map, and Bravo is checking main, though might find Claudette right now. Li Hua is going to get spotted, okay, and I think now our survivors have to go rotate and try and attack the generators.
That's exactly what you see. Yuki and Rand on the generators, and Bravo got caught there a little bit, not quite able to bounce around the middle and the inside of main, taking the chase onto Luha. And looks like they're going to be doubling one of the generators, Meteor and Rain doubling one. Yuki on solo and really doing a great pathing, able to use up almost all of Bravo's rushes, and now making our way over to this kind of dumpster filler here. Pretty solid tile, but yeah, Bravo opts to break it, so that's another 2 tokens gone. And we tried going for the flashlight blind, but not quite able to connect. That actually, I think if they were able to just W-key to the front of main or to another pallet, they would have made it. So I don't know if that survivor had Champions of Light that they were trying to apply to, give them that little that they'd want to go for that beamer blindly. But yeah, no, that's the first hook onto Luha. I don't know if that was the play to go for, but it is all good as they did buy a lot of time. Range gen is almost done. Yuki's gen right here at the car pile is almost done, and Meteor is on their way to the unhook onto Luha. So we'll see what will happen. I believe that yes, you do see the unhook onto them. So really a lot of pressure on the side of the Golden Order, but Bravo with their they've seen Luha's tracks with the Bloodhound. Of course, of course we have a whole blind side. I'm just trying to. I just think the perk is hilarious. But we have eyes on Luha, and if they can make this chase last really long, maybe we can see Yuki Gen hop and get a body in here. But I don't think they can make it to the pallet. No, not quite. And we get the eruption proc, and no one is here for the save. Still fairly good gen pressure. Oh, this is the decisive strike. I completely missed that. That is my apologies. We will get the drop the pallet as well to make it just a little bit longer. And we get the slow vault into the window. Not quite able to make it over, and we get the down. But I think with that, Yuki should be able to pop their gen. And this is 3 different generators. I'm sorry, I thought Ran and Meteor were doubling one with the gen pressure looking so close. So even though we now have a Death Hook survivor, the Golden Order is still in a really strong position here, Toddy.
Yeah, this gen's gonna pop in Bravo's face. He does get the tag as payment for it, but I think this is sort of a little bit far away from the active areas on the map. We probably got Shack being worked, also another top gen being worked. It's yeah, it's just not really in Bravo's interest to follow up and try slug there. I don't know what the hell the Rand is doing there. Are you getting stuck on the generator, buddy? Because that Shack pallet should not have come down with the injury as well. And that, I think, is going to be a nice momentum shift for Bravo. Rand's actually caught out here. Does manage to get the correct Blight bumping tech there. And Rand goes down. And this is sort of similar to what we saw in the previous nurse set 1. Where instead of this happening to Flatline, it's happening to the Golden Order, and Bravo actually tries to go for the grab there, will not be successful. Luckily, the ping was not too high for Lee Hua, and will be able to get the balanced landing off here. So this chase really does have to last for our survivors to try and recover from this position. Brand does get picked up though, and Bravo, not even interested in the immediate tunnel, is going to take the time off and return to this and continue slugging. Uki might be caught out in a bad position here, gets caught, gets flicked around the generator, and now our tunnel out is unironically the last one standing in this trial. If only they had some kind of unbreakable on their builds, but they do not. I think if they had the unbreakable, it would have been used by now. So it is just a world of pain. They have to just hold W and pick everyone up. Bloodhound! Yes! Yes!
Bloodhound actually giving them a little bit of an idea of where the survivors went. And look at that, the Bloodhound took them exactly to the dumpster where Luha would drop the pallet. I cannot believe we actually saw value. Of course, Bravo did not follow up with Luha, but it's so fantastic to see. Because of it, we were able to see where they went. Bravo's still actually trying to follow up with it, but they were able to, Luha able to get the pallet and successfully get the blind this time. No champions of light, but we do see Meteor able to reset themselves, so you know they're gonna be trying to run all the way over to Rand, get the pick up on them. Yes, you do see that, and Yuki coming up next, and I believe they will go for a full reset going into the 3v1 with 2 gens left. But there is that high progress gen at Shack that can still be worked, and the other gens, I don't think there's any other pressure, but they have I think the Survivor side has a fairly good gen split, but Bravo I think this is a weird spot where I don't. For a little bit there, there's like, oh hey, it's in favor of Golden Order, and then with a 3-man slug, oh shoot, it's in the favor of Bravo. But now we're the pressure is kind of shifted toward the middle. There's not really one side taking over the other, at least in my eyes, until we get this down here, Toppy.
And I like how the pressure's transitioned from, you know, a really perilous situation to then just the tunnel out being secured. It was pretty. I think the game was pretty much over once Li Hua was the only one left standing in the trial. But Bravo, unfortunately, could not find him in time, so they managed to get one pickup, which then allowed the next pickup. But then Bravo says, "Okay, sure, you can have that, but you're not going to get out of this alive," and secures the death onto Li Hua for it, which yeah, again I think is just a wonderful transition of pressure from, I guess from both sides. I guess it probably favored Golden Order a little bit more, considering they could have just immediately lost. But it's fine. Bravo accepts it and is just continuing this trial as if it didn't happen. I still think, yeah, this position is great for him. He's got 2 injured around main, or at least last seen. And Fan is taking this slow vault to get away. I don't think he gets that far though. So get ready to go back to the ground. I even forgot what that's called. The S flick is going to secure the down onto the round again. That's beautiful knowledge of that technology is there. And yeah, that allows eruption. Now Uki is the next one in sight. Probably will get tagged here again. The hug and the S-flick, or whatever it's called, is going to secure the tag and just down. Uki can't really make it anywhere. Has the spin burst 99 though. That was beautifully baited. Maybe that's enough to make some safety around this boss. Here's the pallet. It's going to be swung through, but thrown in time. And wow, that's a great recovery from our survivors. They get 2 resets for it. And this down is nowhere near that topside generator setup.
I'm sorry. I know those is a medium. I think that was a medium bolt by Yuki, but I'm sorry that look how far away from the window that he got absolutely sniped. I think this is a good point to acknowledge that this is a NEA versus OC type matchup. So you will see a lot of hits like that where it just looks absolutely unbelievable. But the game's not all done. Yeah, we still catch out. Oh, nice hit onto Meteor just at the end of our rushes, and Meteor does have deliverance. I think Bravo might have sniffed that out, and that's why they haven't followed up with too many downs or any following up with the injuries onto them. So that maybe that's why they're not going for them. Maybe trying to find Rand instead, as that would probably be the best survivor to go for the save. And yes, here is Rand trying to take the chase away from the basement to make it over to main. So Meteor is making their way to Shaq, and we do get the tag onto them. But I think Bravo might lead this chase to go back to the basement. That's exactly what we are seeing. But oh, almost missed the bump there for a second. But Meteor wasn't quite able to make it over to the Shack, and yeah, it had to deviate away from the hook. And oh no, I think we almost got caught out here at 5. Yes, we did get caught up, but Bravo not quite able to distinct where the Meteor was at. Able to get made their way over to edge map, but not quite able to make it anywhere else. And that will be the 4th fresh hook secured. But Rand should have enough time to make it back to get the unhook onto Yuki. Yes, we do see it, but Meteor is the deliverance survivor, so this isn't the end of the world. But Bravo making his way back to basement, and Mike followed with a down. Almost got the conversion onto Rand, but I don't think there's too many resources around except the Shack window. But they do, we bumped into the arms of our killer. No, Rand, you can't. There's, oh man, that you hate to see it. I've done that so many times. Vaulting in, you try to predict where the Blight is going to rush, and then you just end up in their own arms. Extremely unfortunate, Tommy. That's happened to me multiple times, but it looks like we're not sure where anyone else is at. So at the very least, that's what Golden Order has going for them.
I love that mind game around Shaq. Fake the red light going backwards and then commit forwards. I love that, and it definitely worked out for Bravo there, as that secures the basement hook Rans. Their Uki's also sort of caught out here. I think he couldn't really make too much else around the map, and suddenly again Meteor, you're the last one alive. It's sort of just teetering on the edge of being a completely finished trial. Uki's actually just sacrificed here. I didn't realize that. Yeah, it just seems to be GG. Bloodhound also, maybe you could argue, gets a bit of value, but let's not take that too far, shall we, with the Bloodhound. But yeah, okay, that was well played by Bravo. I think we had that really unfortunate situation with the down near the hook. Well, I think the RNG was still pretty broken for survivors. He was put on Blood Lodge for a while. I think Blood Lodge Blight was pretty cool. It's also put on Cold Tower for a bit. I mean, slap any kill on Cold Tower, right? I think Gas Heaven, I don't really like it for the survivors as Blight. I feel like the map is a little bit too big. I think the pallet density is a little bit too low. So it's like, okay, I guess Blight got nerfed, so having less pallet like is probably fine, but I still think I'd like to see him on I don't even know, because I think of Sappho. I already see Sappho still. Maybe Blood Lodge again. I don't really know, because maybe Blood Lodge is a little bit too big. Kaneki's usually on Blood Lodge, so that really shows how big of a map Blood Lodge is. But yeah, that was a bit of a trip down memory lane, I guess, for myself. Ooh, Saki's gonna take first tag here. That's gonna be the wrong side pallet drop, and I think they lost a little bit of distance there. I don't think it matters though, because Blight can catch up very quickly. We're gonna do some bump logic around here, just focus, and will not successfully get the down of the pallet. So Saki takes the light away from that and heads towards the death spot of 5. There's nothing here though. I think it was just TLs, and that means they are going down. But that was a great little delay there from Saki. Maybe just I don't know. That doesn't matter. They're going down, and this first will come through. I feel like though, compared to the first try, I think that chase might have resulted in a little bit more gen pressure. I can see the percentages on the gens being a fair bit higher in this round, which I guess is really good for Flatline. Burrito has to leave this gen though, so maybe these perks can come into effect.
Maybe, and that is actually 3 separate generators that we're looking at. I keep thinking that like there's a solo gen and a double gen, kind of like what we normally see, but here we actually see 3 different gens being worked on, and I believe Burrito is going to be the one trying to go in for the save, but I think Focus is just happy with securing this second hook onto Saki, and at least making it not come for free to get the injury onto one of these survivors. See the first gen pop, the second gen is about to pop. This is the issue with camping someone to second or to death. You're giving the survivors a lot of time. The time used to just hit the gens, knock them out. And with this, I mean, we might even see us get to the Typhon in just a second. And look, we see scratch marks being over to the unhook, and we do get the injuries, but Saki does not go to second stage, so the pressure is really in favor of Flatline, and we get the pallets done onto Focus, and buying just a little bit more time for Saki to get away. And now that, of course, the pressure is now onto Burrito, but Burrito, fantastic pathing around the tree. I don't know if they make it over to Shack, to the Shack pallet. I think yes, they will just barely make it to the Shack. I think if the Blight was still at 115, they might not have made it to the pallet, but yeah, they have to leave this. They need to continue their tunnel out onto Saki, but they also know that Main had a lot of progress, and yes, we do make our way over here, but because they broke open that door, the survivors can just happily lead through it and make it to a stronger resource, breaking both doors now. So now they're just trying to catch them out a little bit here. We see the scratch marks going toward the 11th side of Main, and we do catch out Max over here. Not necessarily the survivor that we want to. We kind of want to stick with Burrito or Saki to like at least get some more hooks on the board, but Max just taking the chase away from the active generators, just sitting here at 10, winning these 50s, winning these the standstill mines, but eventually Focus calls the bluff, but they're not able to swing through it. They break the pallet instead. Max continuing this chase over here at 11, and Focus knows that too much time was bought, and it was enough time for Flatline to get a full reset and gen pressure. Look at over 50, and Burrito hiding behind one of the active generators in Shack, and I believe Saki is still here too. That's huge, being able to hide the tunnel out. Burrito kind of baiting him away from Saki. Saki, you know, he's gonna hop right back on that generator, but there's so much gen pressure on the map. We do get the down, we do get the eruption, so at least there's something going for it. And wait, it does highlight the tunnel out survivor, but I don't know if it's gonna matter, because with Bravo's gen popping very shortly, that will be the tie, and then if Max pops theirs, that's the win.
An eruption was already boxed just then, so there's not going to be another eruption to stop Max generator. That's the Tycon being achieved by Flatline now, and somehow Focus has to eliminate every survivor before that final generator pops by Max. He's going to pick up, so there's no real opportunity for Slugfest unless Flatline do something incredibly wrong. It seems like Max did actually rotate for the pickup, and Bravo rotated for the generator, so it just seems like an unstoppable force now, that final gen anyway. It's like it's just not possible to interrupt for Focus. He's got pressure here. Max is just around here being annoying, pressuring the unhook, and it doesn't even matter that this unhook is early, because all this is doing is buying time for that last gen to come through. There's actually a beautiful body block by Focus. We are locked in and focused, I guess, on this basement tunnel out, and they're going to take this M1 through the window, but it's too late. That generator popped. There's not really much that Focus could do about it anymore at this point in the trial. They go for the flick around. That's not going to be enough thanks to the little bit of elevation difference on the bus, so it doesn't matter. Saki goes down, but yeah, Flatline take the win here in this second set of Blight. That means we're going to the Mastermind, and that means that we're gonna see some Bloodhound Albert Wesker, Peters. We're gonna see some Bloodhound Albert Wesker in the next sets. That is some diabolical pressure, diabolical perk choice. I mean, Bloodhound on the Wesker, yeah, Never heard of before, probably for a really good reason.
A very, very good reason indeed. And honestly, and then looking at how this trial has gone, I think if the survivors of the Golden Order were able to pop that 4th gen, this actually wouldn't be too bad of a place for Focus to be in. Because I mean, there's not a whole lot of gen pressure on the map. You have a tunnel out. You got Max on the hook. It's just unfortunate they weren't able to pop 4th gen and we catch out the savior, which is Bravo trying to go in for the unhook. But again, all this doesn't matter. This is just to try to get the best results possible going into the tiebreaker. So Focus doesn't have to necessarily camp max out. They can just go for Bravo and get followed up with the injuries. Using the turn back the clock on that active generator, but I don't think there was anyone there because Burrito left the generator to try and get the unhook onto Max, which they will successfully do. But Focus really had some really nice buy block, and maybe they'll just go for the tag onto Burrito, but no, it looks like we are going to try and get the buy block, and oh, we have some good buy blocking, but not quite able to keep them in the basement for long. We get the tag onto Burrito, and we're going to try and follow it up, and yes, we do get the follow-up through the locker, and I think Focus is not worried about picking them quite yet. We want to continue this pressure onto our survivors, trying to see if we can find Max once again. We do see the scratch marks trying to take the chase all the way to the top side over here at 10, and oh my gosh, what a beautiful set of rushes into that down onto Burrito. Beautifully played, and now all we have to do is find Bravo, and it looks like they're stealthing around this car pile over here at 4. I think we might have gotten eyes on them. No, we don't have eyes quite yet. We do see the active gen here, which is about 50%. So we get the kick, get the eruption, and I think Focus thinks that Bravo is trying to get the pick onto our survivors. So Focus going back to Shack, getting ready to pick up a survivor, put him back into basement, trying to see where they crawl to. There is Burrito, and I think, yeah, Bravo is in a rough spot. I don't think they're going to be able to do too much of this, although Focus doesn't have an idea of where Bravo is at, so Bravo could just go for this unhook if Focus goes back to pick up Max. But yeah, this match is still going on, and yes, we do see the unhook and the wait, was the deli player? I didn't look too closely at the builds. That's my bad.
I guess he was just running back-to-back deliverance in the trials. Maybe a bit of a risky play, but considering his experience, maybe he's not thinking about that. You know, maybe he's thinking that, okay, whatever, if the opponents decide to metagame and like tunnel me out, then sure. Immediately off the first hook, I mean, so there's no deli value, but then there's DS value, so I'm still happy with that. I can only wonder if that's going to be fine though, as they do actually grab the stun through the main building pallet, so that's enough distance bought. All the survivors are now standing in this trial. Actually is going to go down here. I think our killer might have thought that Dead Hard was on Burrito's build, but there's no Dead Hard. It's just, we know that on the passer's desk. So yeah, it's going to take the hook right now. I think that generator is decimated beyond any kind of repairments. And yeah, I guess maybe a bit of a tip for you out there, if you're in the budget battle and you know that there's like certain sets coming up, maybe you could have a look at the perks that are on Killer and on Survivor, so you know what perks are and aren't in the trial. Because right then, you could say that Focus should know that there's no Dead Hard on the build. Oh, there's Dead Hard. It's on Bravo. But if you do finish the trial, just have a look at the perks. You might as well know what the opponent has spent the money on and try play around it, right?
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Yeah, it doesn't look like the Golden Order looked too much at the perks, or they would have caught out the Dead Hard, and maybe they wouldn't have pulled them out of the locker and get, of course, the decisive onto them. But in the end, it doesn't matter. Max was able. Oh, we hit the hook survivor instead of Max, but we're still gonna hit them anyway to get rid of their BT and follow it up with rushes. Unless Max is able to get a buy block in there, no, they will not be able to. So we will just get the pick onto Burrito, get another tunnel out, turn this into a 2v1 And we do have the injured Bravo. Max is still fully healthy, and I don't think they're gonna pop any more generators here unless they have some phenomenal chase go on here. So yeah, somehow this already one match is still going, and it just brings me back to the Golden Order set when they were on the Star side. If they just had popped one more gen, this could have been a completely different match going into this. And ooh, not quite able to get the flick onto Bravo, but might as well commit this chase, get the fresh hook, and get another hook and force Max to go for the unhook, or sit and commit the gen. We get the blood bust and we run into the rock on accident. We do proc the eruption and kind of almost buried the Bravo's head into the tree. That's not very good. But we do get the pick onto them, put them on the top of the map hook there, and I think we have an idea of where Max is at. They should be somewhere toward the bottom side. And yes, you do see Focus rushing their way down toward the bottom. Oh no, you see them make their way back to the top, then back to the bottom. Maybe they're not quite sure where they want to go, but you can hear the gens pumping away. You know the survivor is here. You don't see anyone here quite yet, but no, here is Max walking, trying to bait the swing with the sprint burst. Not quite able to do so. Get the quick injury onto them, and I don't think they can make anything else. We're just stopping by to apply our pop and eruption, because why not? And then this should be it, unless there's a pallet here. No, there is not. This will be the down onto Max. And as I said before, this is the set win for Flatline. So it now is a 1-1 going into now our tiebreaker. Mastermind